the cooks and duck there, Amun-Rayay, who the bad Momaldu, who the dad who moved there, who Lee Fernandez, the man who wakat, Panabab Yanu, Kalel Hamada, Aterle, Amun-Rayay, the daughter Shalil, 5%, who 5 a new kid, Wafu. I trust by the way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers and his background and his warner for this day and time, Panabab Yanu. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, the Thar, overseer of the heavens and the earth. I am Nuwapian.
All right. Now, who was that first picture? And that prayer was authored by Panabab Yanun. I want to let y'all know that. All right, who was that first spiritual experience you'd like to share with us?
I have one.
Thank you. Go ahead.
A lot of things have been happening, like I'll say something and then something around me, the same thing will like happen or something I done said.
Well, that's what's happening. Now it's docking with itself for you. That's a very good thing.
Thank you.
All right. And those of you that have been calling me, I don't have a Star 69 feature anymore. As much as I pay for a phone bill, Spectrum has decided to remove my Star feature so that I'm missing a lot of calls. So I'd like to ask y'all to please call Anukas for me so that you can give her my number, your number, so I can call you back when you call. How many of you need to get that number, get her number? Well, let me give it to you again in case if you have something to write with. Her number is 215-971-4426. Did you get that? 215-971-4426. All right. Yeah. And somebody else on a spiritual experience.
Rahul Bad, this is Akin Amun. I'm in class.
I'm glad to hear that. Happy. And you've been making a lot of advancements as we talk. Anything you'd like to share with the class tonight?
Not at the moment, no. But I appreciate it.
All right. You and her have anything to share about measurements?
Oh, yeah. I do have to share that. Man, I still haven't found anybody I can share it. I mean, I can do this with live, though. But anyways, Amun had this story. I don't want to make it too long, but he was telling us about a young man that he was teaching, and he took 2 bars of soap, a box of soap, rather, and he put one on the floor, one on the cabinet, or one on the counter, and did 2 different measurements. And they were the same box, but each time he did the measurements, it came up shorter the second time he did it. Even when he laid it down, it was shorter when it was on the ground. And I didn't believe it at first, but I was like, that's some kind of magic. So I had 2 boxes of macaroni, same size, Barilla boxes of macaroni. I didn't have a tape measure, but he said you could do it with a shoestring. And I tried it. And lo and behold, the same thing as he explained it. Like, and I did it multiple times to see if I was crazy or not. I have to get him to explain you how to do it, but literally, I kept doing it over and over again. I did it on a cabinet, I did it on my coffee table, and I still kept getting the shorter measurement every time I laid the boxes down. They're the same boxes.
Thank you, son. That makes you a little bit doubtful about the picture of what we call reality. All right, Har, could you explain to people about the best way to look for things when you lose the misplaced things in this world?
Well, all of it is in our minds, so the best place would be our mind. A couple of nights ago, Amun and I were on the phone, and I was just getting just literally just walking in from the house. I was still in my car in my garage. And Amun was talking to me. Like, he talking to him, sitting there looking for looking for this book, this Bantu book that I need, because I needed something out of it. I hadn't seen it in a while, but I knew I had it in the car. I thought it was in the trunk of the car, but as I'm looking for it, I got Amun. Amun, yeah, he's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm looking for this book. I can't really find it. So you tell me,
you thought you had put it in the garage somewhere, right?
Yeah, I thought I put it in the trunk. I thought it was in the trunk of my car in this one spot.
And you thought you had put it in the garage after that, right? You were looking in the garage for it, right?
That's because the car was in the garage. That's why I was in the car.
Okay.
When I was in the garage, I was looking in the trunk because I thought it was in the spot in the trunk of the car, but it wasn't there in the spot that I thought it was. When you kind of lift the seat back from the back.
Who we got speaking right now? What's your name?
My name Hard.
What?
Hard. H-A-R.
H-O-R?
H-A-R.
I'm ready to hear you. H-A-R. Hard. Okay.
Yeah.
My name, Daryl, man. My Hebrew name is Yakar Abinel. And Kim gave me this number like 2 nights ago over there for 40 nights and 126. And the reason why he did, because I was talking to somebody else from the distance.
I'm here. I guess that's true, brother. Glad you're in class.
All right, cool.
Kim.
All right, what's up, man? So when I think that was Amun that said something about measurements first. Like he said something else first, but I'm trying to get the vibe or the feel how the conversation go. And real quick, to me, measurements, pardon my soul first, I interrupted the conversation. But to me, measurements, I think about life and everything in life being measured by time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the way we raise in our government, you know what I'm saying, our country, economic-wise, whatever, school.
Let me ask you a question, my good brother Darryl.
Yes,
you know that the brother Hall was talking when you introduced yourself, right?
Okay, my bad. He was talking about the garage.
Just give him a second to finish, please.
All right.
And we want to introduce you, and I'm very happy you're here.
All right.
Har?
Yeah, I'm sure. So when I was looking for the book, I stopped and I walked in the house to see if I put it in the house. That's what Amun just told me. Nah, we're going to get it figured out. It's only in one place. He basically asked me, do I know where that place is? And he's saying that it's the mind. You never forget anything. You just got to really focus. So
can't lose anything because it's always in your mind, right? What I told him is that your physical mind, your brain, records all physical experiences. But your consciousness, your spiritual mind, records all your physical and spiritual experiences. Everything is always in there. That's where you search, in your mind. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So when I was in the house looking for it, he's like, you sure you know last time you left it? I was just, no, I'm almost positive I left it in my trunk. I don't know where. So I say, anyway, I'm almost positive I left it in my trunk. So he said,
I knew you were telling me that you I knew what it was the way I remembered. You said you were looking in the garage for your book, but you had searched in your trunk. You thought you left it in your trunk, but you already searched and you knew it wasn't in there. That's why you were looking in the garage. But after you started explaining to me and we started backtracking in your mind, I made a mind link with you, and I told you, son, that book is still in your car. It's still in your trunk, right?
Right.
And then when you went
through
the trunk,
in the house, though. I wasn't looking in my garage. I was looking in the house after I looked in my trunk in the garage.
Okay, I knew you were looking somewhere else other than the car.
The garage, because you told me, you said, well, if you left it in there, then that's when you go back and look. So that's when I looked back in the garage.
No, well, I actually saw the book. I actually looked in I made a mind link, and I saw the book. That's why I told you with surety it was in the trunk.
So it was in a whole other spot in the trunk.
That's right.
It was in the part that
The spare
It was
tire
in the
is.
trunk, but I overlooked. It was under where the spare tire be when you look, when you keep your spare tire.
Right. Well, that was a very good thing. You did find the book. It was where I told you it was, inside your mind. All right. I'm very happy that you all are progressing like that. Also, people that believe in the Bible, I want to let you know that it was authored, the one that you call King James, by William Shakespeare. That's why there's a biblical language like yellowwood forthwith art thou, lend me your ear, and that type of thing. And to be convinced that there's a code that he left in the Bible in at least one place. One of those places was Psalms 46, the 46th Psalm. When you get to 46 Psalms, just count down 46 words, you'll see shake, and then count up 46 words. Don't include amen, just count 46 words up, and then you get sphere. So his code of Shakespeare, he left in Psalms 46, 46 words down and 46 words up. All right? And the new brother Darryl, we're glad that you're here. Can everybody please welcome Darryl to the class, please?
Welcome home, Darryl.
Welcome home, brother. Welcome home.
Welcome home, brother.
Welcome home, brother.
No.
Come on, brother.
Appreciate it.
Love you.
We're very happy that you're here, Darryl. And you were sharing with us about measurements. Was that your voice? I heard Jasmine.
That was me. I was just speaking briefly, you know what I mean?
That's okay. Go ahead and speak.
I'm not just saying that I believe, you know what I'm saying, with life experience that everything measured in time.
It is
But
here.
if a person don't understand time, then, you know what I mean, they don't know how to use like, I'm not real good with mathematical things, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the way I've been living life and understanding with the 24 hours in a day and what I can do in 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, because we got nighttime and daytime, and over in Alaska, it's 6 months light, 6 months dark, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, you know what I'm saying, based upon the region and the country. But for us, we got the 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? 12 light, 12 dark, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You're right about that. Time is measured.
You know what I mean?
Time,
and then, frequency can change.
measurement.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, Darryl. Let me explain. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
Please start 6. Mute your phone down. All right. You can measure in time. That's one way to measure time, but also distance. That's why when you drive your car from Florida to Alabama, you have miles per hour. You know, so you have it in time and you have it in distance.
Right.
You know, if I ask you how far is Miami from where you are right now, you might say that's 70 miles away, or that's an hour and a half away. Either way would be applicable, whether you do it in distance or time. Are you following me?
Right.
Now, what you were saying about time, I understand that. I understand it. We're clear on that, because the Earth is revolving around the sun. It takes 24 hours for it to revolve, and 12 hours of that time, the Earth is facing the sun. We call that daylight. And during daylight, on the side that's facing the sun, is shadow hour on the other side of the globe, say in China, or what you would refer to as night. And that's how we calibrate time. Are you following me? So that...
Consumer knowledge.
Yeah. You know, if I asked you, if you were in Seattle, Washington, how long would it take you to get to Miami Beach, Florida? What would you say, roughly?
Don't know. I'll Google it.
Right, you would. And they would say it's about 3,300 miles, or it would take, at a certain miles per hour, it would take like 3.5 days. But either way, it would be applicable. But now the thing about time is this. Yeah, it would take 3.5 days, or be about 3,300 miles to cover that distance. But now suppose I take you to the moon and you're looking down on the Earth, and it was a quarter of the size that it is now. It would be a lot shorter distance between Seattle, Washington, and Miami Beach, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And if I took you out of this solar system, so that our sun was just a pinlight, a dot of light, and you could barely see the Earth, it was so tiny, if I asked you how far it was from Seattle to Miami from that perspective, you would say, well, I can't. It's the same place. That's it. It's already there. That's right. So from the Most High's perspective, you know, that it's 1,000 years to him is like one day. 1,000 years to us is like one day to him. You follow what I mean? So it depends on how high you are.
Knowledge, when the people cannot grasp knowledge in the same amount of time that we can, what do we do about that?
Say it again.
Because I got loved ones that cannot comprehend and grasp the knowledge that we can grasp within the same conversation right here.
Well, I understand, and we all are in a similar situation. We have loved ones that are not even interested in coming to a format like this.
Right.
But my point is, I'm emphasizing you are right, and I'm glad that you're conscious enough to see that there's a distinction, because time itself is an illusion. It's not a fixity. It's not real.
Of course.
Because do you have a car?
No.
Okay, but you've been driving with somebody from one city to another before in your life, I'm sure, right?
Of course.
All right. And if you frequent that city, you might know that it takes 90 minutes to get there or 3 hours to get there. But on some trips, you get there a lot quicker than you do others. Am I right?
Same way with knowledge.
That's right. But it's knowledge of the reality of the illusion of time that we're focusing on right now. Because you can jump time, and the sister Ankh in Texas can explain some of the experiences she had with that. Ankh, can you give him some enlightenment about how time can be jumped?
Yes.
Yes, speak up a lot louder, please. Your connection is very weak.
A few years back, I used to live in Atlanta, but at the time I was working in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I would drive back and forth. I would make that trip. So when I would do it on occasion, I would call Amun to tell him I'm leaving and I'm heading back to Atlanta, and he would talk. We would talk the whole ride, it seems like. But when I would leave Chattanooga, say at 5 o'clock after I got off work, I would drive right down, and we would be talking, and it seemed like, I don't know, I'm going to say like 30 or 45 minutes, I was in Atlanta. I was like, I can't believe it. I'm back here already. I don't understand what happened. And he would tell me, he was like, you have to be careful with that, especially when you're driving, you know, on the road like I was. But it's like, I don't want to say wormhole or something, but I got back to Atlanta in like no time flat. It was a little scary. And I told him about it. And he was telling me to be careful when I do that.
I need to.
Well, that's right. Time is an illusion, and so is distance, because there is no here or there or now and then. The time is now. That's the only reality. Is absolute. The time is now. I say that because son, Darryl, today is Sunday. Now tomorrow will be Monday. Am I right?
Right.
When you get up. Okay, Darryl, when you get up Monday morning, will you call it tomorrow or will you call it today?
Oh, you already know I'm going to call it today.
That's right. So every time tomorrow comes, it's still what?
Present time.
It's still today. Tomorrow never comes. And as far as distance, when you say something is over there, and I say where, and you say over there, phonetically, listen to me. Take the W off where. What does it spell?
Now.
No, it spells here.
Oh, here. Yeah, you're right.
Take the T off there. Right, listen.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We need you to learn to listen a little more, please. Take the T off there. What does it spell?
T off there? Here.
Right. And if you supposedly die, you go to the where after, Darryl?
I did before in 2018.
If you die, you go to the where after?
Honestly, I was in the light. 2003, I was in the dark.
Class, if you supposedly die phonetically, where do you go?
Hereafter.
So what you call in where is still here, and what you call them there is still here. And even if you die and go into the light, you're still here. You follow me?
That's what I say about spirits in the family. I tell everybody.
Okay, I understand. But what it is I'm trying to explain to you the differentiation between allegorical and decisive. And if you'll allow me, I will try to enlighten you. Now, I'll tell you what, Dale. If you want to teach the class, I'll let you start right now. Go ahead. You can answer their questions.
No, I'm trying to get an interpretation of the class.
Okay, very good.
Because I'm trying to see if it's spiritual, if it's like metaphysics, is it, you know what I'm saying?
It's all of that.
It's
spiritual, metaphysics, and it's also historical. And we really focus on the future. But right now, what questions do you have?
What do I have?
Questions.
Questions.
If you don't have any, maybe somebody else does.
Okay, well, maybe they got some questions for me when I tell them this. My, across the composition and definition of my nickname that my mama gave me, Little Buddha, I added why he licked at the end of it. It was LILBOODAH, WIHELIC, which is living if life brings on open doors amongst heaven. I believe we always traveling through doors in life, you know what I'm saying? And those doors for me is for me to reach my heaven. I believe heaven and earth is on this planet. You know what I'm saying? I believe that hell is here. We create our own hell. You know what I'm saying? I believe heaven is here.
And you believe it right. Heaven and hell are not places. They are conditions only perceived by those in it.
Right.
Right? The Holy Prophet was asked one time by a person, where is heaven? And he said it was everywhere. It extended over the whole of the heavens and the earth. That paradise was everywhere. When he told that to a multitude of people one day on a mount, the devil sidestepped him and said, well, holy man, if heaven is everywhere, then where's hell? That doesn't leave much room, does it? And all the non-believing, doubting, ignorant devils started walking off with wrinkles on their head, talking about that devil got a point because it ain't been all heaven for me. The holy man said, wait a minute. Stopped him, and he asked him a very serious question. He asked the people, he said, where does the day go when the night comes? Meaning that where you are right now, the river's in darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But left standing long enough in the same place, it'll eventually be in light, right? Mm-hmm. The same roof.
Right.
Or if you land in your bed and you have a headache, you could be in hell. But in that same spot, if you land in that bed with your lady, you could be in heaven, right? That's right?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. We just want a response and answer because it could be other people here that know less even than you, Darryl, and imagine they know a lot. Okay, now, please, son, let me ask you, why did the Creator give you 2 ears and 2 eyes and just 1 mouth? So you can look and listen twice as much as you speak, son.
It said that Moses...
All right, okay, wait a minute. Don't keep changing. Listen, son. Stop trying to change the conversation every time I'm talking. It's rude. It's like when Hart was speaking, you just interrupted and started talking over him. You follow me?
You got a better interpretation of each one of your
The best interpretation is respect the people in the class. I love you. You're trying to confuse people and lose the point so that they get lost on what it is I'm saying. It's not a nice thing to do, son. What I'm saying is that you can tell the truth from that mouth you got, and you can tell a lie from that same place, right? But can you tell the truth and the lie at the same time?
But how do I know what spirit is present if they don't speak?
That's the wrong question. You haven't answered the one I asked you. Can you tell the truth and a lie at the same time? Answer the question for him, class. Can he answer? Can he tell?
You cannot. You cannot.
No, he cannot.
No, you cannot.
All right. So it can be heaven and hell in the same place.
In the courtroom.
Listen, I understand, son. What you want to do is dominate the conversation. You don't know enough to do that. We love you and we welcome you home. But you have to respect the class that you're in, please. Just fit in with us as a group. We love you. They all greeted you with love, and so did I. But you're not going to come in and just start taking over with your beliefs and forcing your beliefs on us when we have facts and we know. If you allow yourself time to be patient and listen, you find out we know what you believe and more, all right? We are gathering. We are the 144,000, and this heaven you speak of, we're on the way there now, and many are closer than others. And I suspect by what your description of the name your mother gave you, that you might be closer than you think. But you still have work to do, a lot to learn. You follow me?
True. That's true.
So if you just allow yourself to stop talking over people, you'll be a lot better, and we'll love you even more. And you'll get to heaven and get the information that you didn't have, right?
I'm so glad you figured me out already.
Yeah, it's my job to figure it out. I love you. Okay, now, who is that next question?
I have a question.
Amun, I got it. Go ahead, sister.
All right, sister.
All right. My question is, initially, years ago when I came into the knowledge, I was given a scroll which I read, and it made me curious, and I followed up from there on. And when, at the time, Dr. York, they called him Dr. York at that point, he said, I came giving you what you want so you can learn to want what I have to give. Can you illuminate on that? And
right. When he made his presence known on Earth in 1970 and even before in the 60s, he knew that people had a religious mindset and they were all under a spell. And then we were either trapped in the schools of Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, or something similar to that. Hebrew, Israelite, and we were trapped in these vast and various backgrounds, and we were thoroughly convinced by our grandparents and parents and schools and our surrounding environment that was the facts, that Jesus was a white man and God was white and all these things were true, right? So he didn't come in attacking our beliefs. He came in and he gave us a lot more knowledge about Islam than we could get from the Imam. Then he changed the school. After he gave us all that knowledge about Islam, then he went back over and showed us and broke it down one step at a time and let us see that it was a lie. It was just confusion. It wasn't true beyond a shadow of a doubt. So he broke the spell on Islam. Then he approached Christianity and taught us more about Christianity than Reverend Rib, Deacon Pork Chop, and Pastor Fried Chicken could ever do. And after he taught us all this about Christianity, he did the same thing. He went back over it step by step, verse by verse, all through the Bible and everything we believe, and proved to us that it was wrong. You follow me, Shakespeare? And it wasn't true. And that broke the spell of religion. You follow what I'm saying? So, in other words, he came here giving us what we wanted until we learned to want what it is he truly came to give, which was right knowledge, right reasoning, and sound understanding. Okay.
how was
All right.
that, Messiah?
I love you. And a brother had a question before that. Oh, at the same time, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was just a sorry, Moon.
Okay, go ahead.
My question, Moon, is on Enoch. For him to, I know we in a thought world about raising our vibration, our mindset. For him to go up in the higher realm, still in the flesh form, what signs was he dealing with, able to do that?
He didn't go in the flesh form. He was taken up in the spirit like John on the Lord's day. What you're speaking about is Enoch, or Idris, other names for Akhenaten. He was telling his sons that 3 angels came to visit him, and they told him that he had a day to communicate with his family that he was going to be taken up. And he told his sons that he was going to give them the book, which was the Holy Tablets, and that for they should learn that knowledge and share it with people around them. And he was taken up on the wings. He was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day. Being taken up in the spirit is the same as when you go to sleep every night, you have a dream. You may not remember sometimes, but you always dream every night. Because during the day, the spirit and the flesh are like two equally matched warriors grappling for dominance. Right? And I'm going to be redundant again. When you go to the refrigerator and you want something to eat for lunch, and you have to choose between a salad and a pig foot, your lower carnal body might want the pig foot and crave for the pork, but your higher self is going to tell you, eat the salad. It's healthier for you, clean. It's not haram. It's not forbidden. And you go back and forth arguing, but I'm a grown man and I want the pig foot. And ultimately, the decision rests with you because you have free will. But sometimes the argument gets so heated that you start talking out and you don't realize it, and your child in the next room will say, Daddy, who you in there talking to? And you laugh and confess and say, oh, boy, I'm in here talking to myself. That's God and the devil having an argument, right? That's what happens in the daytime. But at night, when you go to sleep, and your brain and your physical brain and your body shuts down for slumber, your spiritual body wakes up, and it's 100% in control, and it's not wrestling against the flesh. So it raises up in vibration, and that light body, the light in you that the young man Darrell was talking about, the real you, the light, travels up the spinal column. It travels up the 7 seals, chakras of the heavens, and it's trapped up Jacob's ladder, and every notch in your spine or wrong in your spine is another step in that ladder. When it goes past the lotus breastplate in your chest, and it goes past the laryngeal seat, and the pineal gland, and the third eye, that light eventually goes up to the temple. And at the top of your head, there's a thin, transparent, hollow tube attached to the top of your head. It's called the etheric cord. And it's hollow and transparent and thin. It's like the umbilical cord that attaches a baby to the walls of the uterus and the mother. So in essence, when the cord is cut, the baby dies from out of one reality, and when spanked by the doctor and has to draw oxygen, it is born into another. Now, every night, that ball of light, which is the real personality of you, reaches up to the mouth of that tube, and it raises up in vibration, causing that tube to expand in the opening, like a woman dilating to give birth. And when the tube is wide enough to accommodate that light travels out of the temple into the hollow tube, and that's what people in near-death experiences describe as going through a tunnel. Then you feel like you're flying and floating in a dream, seeing people that you know and people you haven't met, and places you've been and places you haven't been. When you get through traveling, what you call astral flight or OBE, out-of-body experience, then you slide back down the tube, pop back into your head to reanimate your flesh. And if you try to move too fast, you feel you can't. Old people describe that as a witch riding your back. It's sleep paralysis. So you have to be Asaboru, patient enough to allow that light to travel back down the light cord of your spine and get properly reseated in your solar plexus in order to trigger electrical impulses so you can first move fingers and hands and eventually toes and feet so you can stand up and operate that body again. Are you following me? So what was your question? Let's start again.
Yeah, I was just trying to see the different levels because I know they said Enoch was able to be up there.
All right.
Have to transition.
Okay, in regards to Enoch personally, he was taken up in the spirit by the angels. They raised his vibrations up high like Melchizedek raised up John's spirit on the Isle of Patmos, and he was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day. Because when you're in the spirit, you're no longer trapped in the physical plane where you have constrictions. Like you're in a room right now, and you can't see past the floors, walls, or ceiling because you use the physical eyes. But you find when you close your physical eyes, you can see your car outside parked. You can see your mother. You can see the front of your house from inside the house as you approach the house. You can go back to work or school, and many times you see things in the future haven't happened yet. Then you walking on the physical plane, and something that happens in front of you, and you tell the person next to you, "Hey, I saw this in my dream 2 weeks ago." That's right. Because in spirit, there is no past, present, or future, because you're God and the time is now, so you can see everything, right?
Yes,
you understand?
Yes,
so when it was with Enoch, he was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day. And when he got all the way up to heaven, the angels finally told him, after they had given him information he was supposed to have to take back to earth for his final visit, he sit under the tree of life, and it was so pleasant. He told the angels, "I refuse to go. I'm not leaving this place. This is my home, isn't it?" And it was his home. And he was so adamant about leaving that they went to the Most High. And the Most High told Enoch in person, he said, "Yes, son, but you have to go back right now." And Enoch was obedient.
Y'all won't believe me. Y'all won't believe me.
Hey,
right now.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
So the angels came to Enoch. You break up the flow of information for everybody else when you interrupt them like that. Okay, so Enoch, you have your chance. Enoch went back down to heaven, so he started dropping back down the planes, just like you do after you get through dreaming, right? And he started, and listen, he started feeling warmth. He started feeling heat again. That means he had slid back down in the spirit into his physical body. And when he was in his physical body, he could again feel warmth and heat and see grass and all these things, and he knew he had returned. It's no different than you being in the hospital having surgery. And in the olden days, they used to give you a gas called ether that would put you to sleep. And it would raise up your vibrations, and your spirit would raise up out of your body. In other words, you'd be taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day by the gas ether, which is like Etherian, right? And many of you, while out of your body, recalled after waking up that you could see the doctors and hear everything the nurses were saying in the room. You knew everything that was going on. And after the surgery, if the body was repaired sufficiently for you to return to it, you slid back down the etheric cord and popped back into your flesh, and they said, "She's waking up now. She's coming out of it." And as soon as you started waking up, you started asking for pain medicine, because you started, if they cut your stomach over or whatever they did, you couldn't feel it while you were under the influence of the ether, or you were outside of your body in the spirit. But as soon as you went back in your body, you start remembering the pain. You start being able to feel it, and they had to start dosing your physical form with medicine to keep that pain from affecting you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Enoch was taken up. Enoch was taken up, but not in the physical body. All right?
I got you. I understand, sir.
All right, I love you. He was a whole light being, like Darryl was saying. All of us are whole light beings. We have an inner vision, an inner hearing, and an inner heart. Right? You are all enigma. Enigma is what we are. So if you're sitting in a chair and you look around the room, there's an empty seat that you could sit in. If you can imagine me putting your spirit over there, your soul over there, your personality, your memory, your feelings, your thoughts, put all that over there, which is the real essence of you, what you really are, will be left on the phone here with us if I put all that in the other empty chair. Just a shell. That's what your body is when they operating on it, and you're under the influence of ether. That's why when they cut it, you can't feel it, because there's nothing in there. It's just like, see, sleep and death are brothers and sisters. The only difference is when you go to sleep, the spirit leaves the body, but it slides back down the etheric tube and comes back in every morning. But in death, when the spirit leaves the body, the elders come along, and like in birth, the doctor cuts the umbilical cord. In death, the elders cut the etheric cord, and you can't go back in the body. That's the difference between sleep and death, the only difference.
Yep.
All right? And if you're not clear, please turn the question until we get all the clarity that you all need. And I hope for people that have heard it many times, I hope for those that have heard it many times, that you can repeat it to other people that'll ask you questions like that in the future. Go ahead.
I said I'd overstand. I appreciate it.
I love you.
Amun, but another question on piggyback.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, sister.
No, go ahead, Asar. I can wait.
I love you.
Know.
No, I was just saying it make me think about when people saying they sleepwalking too, and they don't remember when they don't done something. You know, a lot of times people don't figure out they're doing something sleepwalking and they don't have no conscience of what they be doing, and somebody told them they seen them doing something, and they don't have no recollection of what they had done when they were sleepwalking.
All right. In that case, what it is that they raised up in vibrations, but the spirit didn't leave the body. It stayed in the body, and they start acting out, taking the body with them. And that's exactly what you do every day, and it's what you're doing right now. You're, in essence, sleepwalking, because your body is like a car body that your spirit is operating. Are you following me? Because if the real you was not in the body, it would be inanimate. It would not move. It would be frozen, dead. You follow?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is when somebody's sleepwalking, that's a sign that their spirit or their essence or God is still inside the temple. And the temple is not a building down the street or a church. The temple is the place on the side of your head next to your ears, and your eyes are windows to the soul. God is the third eyes that when you close your physical eyes, you can still see things, or you see things in your dream when the lights are out and your eyes are closed. The third eye is the eye of God, the all-seeing eye. That's within you. You have an inner eye, inner ears, inner heart. You know, that's why when you're on the phone with your child and they're 1,000 miles away in school, if they disrespect you on the phone, they break your heart. That's not the muscle in your chest, but they break your emotional and spiritual heart. Do you follow me?
I follow.
Yeah.
Tua.
And you were a whole being before you even came to this earth. A whole light being. That's what you are in the angelic realm of Malakut. That's why the description of the new heaven and the new earth, when they say that the former things will have passed away, is that for those of you in the new heaven and the new earth will no longer be thirsty or hungry or feel pain or have death, for the former things will have passed away. The only way that can be possible is if you raise up in vibrations and permanently leave your body consciously and you're in the spirit. When you're a spiritual whole light being, you can't get hungry. There is no time. You can't be cold. You can't have a disease. You can't age. You can't die because you're in the spirit and you become an immortal being again. Are you following me? But what happened is that the fall of man in heaven, because of disobedience, a third of the angels were cast down to the physical plane, down to earth, solid, actual, and time-bound. And they were trapped in a penitentiary for wayward angels, where they can experience hunger and cold and all that, because in the spiritual plane, they thought man had more, and they wanted to come down here, but now that you're here, everybody want to kick their heels and get back to Oz, right?
Hell no.
Right.
Sister, you got a question? Go ahead.
Yes. That was an excellent question Asar had, and I wanted to piggyback on that because, and part of you just answered part of the question that I had. You said previously, as above, so below. So we are actually above, watching it happen below as an avatar experiencing creation?
Yes. You are actually not that body. You are not that situation. You're only watching this happen from above. But the point is that energy flows where attention goes, right? So, when I gave you the example of standing in the kitchen trying to decide on the pig foot and the salad, the will ultimately rests with you. So, you are either a high conscious being and you think and you turn yourself inside out and you become the mind of God with the salad, or either you think out of your carnal mind and let your physical form rule and you think like the devil and eat the pig foot. Are you following what I'm saying? So the choice is yours. Yes, you are potentially always, 24 hours a day, you're potentially a God being. If you exert your free will and want to live in a high vibratory state. But those of you that prefer to live in a low vibratory state, where you have let things like anger and greed and maliciousness and jealousy and all these things rule you, and hatred, then you reduce yourself to a reptilian devil. You follow me? A physical form.
I'm glad we ain't got none of them on the class.
No, they here.
So,
but I love
my
them.
question.
And they don't know I know who they are, but some of them starting to wake up. But they know I love them, and I'm going to try to help them, but they got to stop trying to hurt us. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, the thoughts that we have, or the thoughts that we entertain that come and go, all of them are not agreeable thoughts. So where are these thoughts coming from?
They come from the lower. The negative thoughts come from the lower self, from your carnal mind, your carnal brain, your physical brain, right?
Okay.
When you were an angelic being in Malakut, a spiritual being, a simple electromagnetism, like I said before, you used to look at creation and see the beautiful birds fly and nature and trees, and you loved it, and you marveled at the wonder of the Creator. But when you dropped down to a physical form and you started experiencing hunger, for example, you start looking at the same beautiful birds and you start figuring out ways to trap and kill them so that you could cook and eat them for food to quell or quench that thirst and hunger. You follow me? So you shifted from a green light to a red light. A being that was ruled by the signs of Wahor, I got to get mine. You went to a signs of destruction. You started destroying things in order to create. You cut down those beautiful trees to build houses to keep yourself warm. You follow me? You started killing animals that were previously beautiful works of nature to you in order to feed yourself to keep hunger from overtaking you. You follow what I'm saying?
So, but still, I'm saying thoughts that come to us, we're consistently entertaining, I don't know, thousands of thoughts per day, or where are these thoughts coming? They're all coming from
some of those thoughts, for example, are being broadcasted by negative beings from Titan, a moon that orbits around Saturn, which is one of Satan's planets, right? And they have a large transmitter there, and they broadcast these negative thoughts to the dark side of the moon, where they have a receiver and a transmitter that then, in turn, amplifies the message and then transmits it to planet Earth in the same way satellites do on your cable TV, right? Or cell phone towers. And they transmit these negative thoughts to you 24 hours a day because they are demons and they would like to transform this into a negative environment, and they want the atmosphere to be predominant ammonia and methane instead of oxygen, because that would be conducive to the reptilian life. Are you following what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you have to create a psychic self-defense. And when you all get these spiritual packages from me, if you play these DVDs and CDs all night long, or if you go to the place we have classes, class links, we listen to 24/7. If you listen to that all night long, you can only think of one thing at a time. You can't think of two things. If you take a woman that's standing at the window, looking out the window, holding the baby, feeding the baby, and washing the dishes while she's talking on the phone, and she says she's multitasking, she's not. She's rapidly moving from one task to the other, and it looks like she's doing a lot of things at once. You can only think of one thing at a time. So if your mind is filled with heavenly and positive, uplifting thoughts, you don't have any room for this negative energy and thoughts to get into you. But don't think that every day when you live in your home, if you have neighbors on the left and right, if they're arguing with one another on cell phone, I'll kill you, nigga, bitch, I hope you die. Those telephone waves go through the walls of your house from one neighbor to the other. Well, if you're in the house, those telephone waves are also going through you. And they shake up and they make you negative inside, and you get mad a lot of times. You don't even know why. But it's because other angry people are forcing their energy through you. So you have to create a psychic self-defense, right? But some people are the battery for evil themselves. They generate evil. They get up in the morning evil. They go to sleep evil. They stay mad. These are disagreeable beings. And they don't believe they have a choice. They just, well, that's just the way I am. No, it's not. That's your free will. You're electing to be an asshole.
They created it, yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you don't have to be a demon.
what I'm saying is the good thoughts that we entertain, whether it's whatever, good thoughts come. You know what I'm saying? Good thoughts come, just like you say, good thoughts come, negative
They're naturally
thoughts come.
there. Yeah, that's natural.
Your decision. It's your decision to take or entertain whichever one. You could be the observer, or once you go ahead and make the decision and jump in, then you're I think we spoke about, you're the actor and you're the audience as well. So, but
right,
when you...
Exactly. You're both. You're always both.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
So
when you say when you're in the kitchen trying to decide between the pig foot and the salad, and you talk loud, and your child say, "Who are you talking to?" You say, "You caught me. I'm in there talking to myself." Which one is you, the myself or the I? Both.
So,
the problem at the root of the difficulty is the difficulty at the root of the problem is far too frequently you look in the mirror and you identify the physical form as this is me. But it's not. That's the illusion. The carnal aspect, the devil. The higher self inside of you is the real you. That's I. I am who I am. That is the Most High. If you look in the mirror and you want to smile, your body will not smile unless your higher self invokes a methal, an inner smile, and then it'll show on your face. Are you following me?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the agreeable, loving, positive thoughts that are coming through, I get what you're saying about the negative thoughts, the disagreeable thoughts. Who's transmitting that agreeable, good, loving, kind? Where is that coming from?
That's natural. That emanates from Faut. All.
Okay, that is...
Because the primary attribute of all is divine love. Divine love is the attribute of all, and everything else is mere illusion. It doesn't exist. Divine love is the only reality. Divine love is the only reality. Everything else is mere illusion.
Sure.
But some people live in an illusion reality.
Sure. True. So my question, our 4 higher senses that we have, those were given specifically for us to activate or for us
to stay in contact with the higher realms of the Most High.
Yeah.
What she's talking about is clairvoyance, intuition, psychometry, and what was the other one? Telepathy. Are you following me? Yeah. So you have 9 senses in total. You have see, hear, feel, smell, taste, and touch. And then your higher senses, telepathy, intuition, psychometry, and clairvoyance. But all 9 of those senses are multiplied by deception. They all mean one thing: perception, to be aware. Are you following me? And you are a perceptive, aware being. But when you fail, they cut off your random access to your 4 higher senses. So you could no longer be in touch with God directly because you weren't worthy. Because of the low thoughts, you cut your own self off.
Absolute truth.
Say it again.
Absolute truth.
That's right.
Kabbalah kind of told on that too, but
you can't be evil and in tune with higher frequencies.
It's not gonna work.
That's why when you go to heaven, you don't have to start fighting off evil thoughts because they don't exist there.
They don't exist there.
Sure.
Right. And if you keep thinking evil, you won't exist there.
Oh, that's right.
How do you speak to somebody with telepathy?
It's mind to mind. An example of that is if you read in the book.
Your mama did it to you.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just speaking about if you read in the book and you really enjoying that book, and the fly keeps pestering you, but you're interested in what you're reading, until finally you can't take it, you put the book down and pick up a fly swatter. What does that fly do then when you pick up that can of rain, son?
He runs.
He flies away, right? And then after you wait for him to come back and he don't, you put the fly swatter in the raid down and pick the book up again. Then what does the fly do?
He come back.
That's right. That fly's reading your mind. That's telepathy.
Yeah, but how do I do it like to somebody? Like, you know, like
you have to raise up your vibrations frequently, and you have to study the patterns and learn how to think. In other words, what you want to do is reconnect with your higher self. You're not going to have random access to the divine until you have a pure heart and you have no more malice, hatred, begrudging, and all these little petty, evil little things that make you such a small, tiny, ugly creature. You follow me?
Hateful
and all that. You can't be that. Vengeful.
There's no way you can use it. You can use it. The gift is already there, but you're not gonna be able to use it to cleanse your conscience, man.
All right. Can you all mute your phones when you're talking to one another? Next question. Is the brother here that they tried to impound his car? That was a friend of Osiris that called me up for help. Okay. Next question.
Somebody, Robert is in?
Yeah, he's not here.
Oh,
no, that was my son.
That was your, I'm sorry, that was your son? Okay.
Yeah,
I just
that
thought
was
he'd
my
be
son.
okay. I thought he'd be interested in the class. That's why. And he wasn't just calling us for help, but he was calling us because he was interested in raising up his vibrations.
Yeah,
because
he's working right now. That's probably.
I follow you. I love you. Let him know that I asked about him, right?
Okay.
Because when he communicated to me, believe me, I could peep through muddy water, see dry land. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So I know what happened, but I love him. Okay, next question.
I want to know what everybody in the class trying to create while they're still there in the class.
I'm sorry, you got to speak up louder. You have a next question.
when it comes to the 144,000, why is it different tribes? Like, what is the different tribe about? Like,
the different what now?
The different tribe. Like, what is it about? Like, is it physical or like, you know?
You mean the tribes or trials?
Tribes.
Tribes. There are 12 different tribes. So what do you want to know about them?
Like, what make them different? Like, is it physical?
Because you
like,
all are different, right? For example, before you were abducted into slavery, you were from different countries. Some from Nubia, some from Egypt, some from Sudan, some from South Africa, some from Kenya, right? And so you grew up with different tribal customs and different ways of life, and you formed different opinions. Are you following me? So sometimes differences create differences, or enmity, right? So the 12 tribes of Israel have 12 different types of teachers. So there are some of you that prefer one kind of a teacher and will listen to him because he speaks in a language that makes sense to you. And the other 11 tribes have different teachers. On the Crystal City, there are 12 gates and doors. And all 12 tribes, Reuben, Dan, all of them will Judah will enter into a different gate. Are you following me?
What about, like, the spiritual side, like, you know?
You got to speak up louder and clearer.
What about the spiritual side of that, like?
That is the spiritual side. You're not going to heaven in a bodily form, even though a master can raise up in a physical form. In other words, for a real master can take himself up in the spirit, and when that ball of light gets to the mouth of that etheric tube, he can raise his vibration until the mouth of the tube expands wide enough to accommodate the spirit and the body. And he or she can go up in the physical form as well as the spirit. But what would you do with the physical body on the spiritual plane? That's the question.
I thought it was like physical up there, like it's gonna be perceived.
No, it's not physical, but it's not physical, but it is the same. In other words, the reason why you can't see spiritual beings on this plane, angelic beings and ghosts, is because you're not vibrating on a high enough frequency. Are you following me? But when you raise your frequencies up and you go permanently to the spiritual plane, then everybody up there that's on the same frequency, they vibrate on the same frequency, and they come into view. You can see those people. You'll be there, and you can see your mother and your grandfather and all those people, and fish with them, eat with them. You can even have babies and homes and modes of transportation and children. Do you understand? It's like
Repeat
us.
that, please.
What it is, it's like all of us right here, we meeting in a certain conference call room. You have to dial into a specific frequency to get here. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 boop. And if you got one number wrong, you would end up someplace else and not here. But when you dial into this exact frequency by the number code, the code you dialed into, you'll end up in the same place as us or the same heaven as us. You understand? And then you can hear us, etc. You follow what I'm saying? Except with a heavenly code, you can not just hear, but you can see us too. But many of you all have phone apparatus where you can dial in and look at each other while you talk. Am I right?
Right.
Right.
But if you call somebody to look at them on the phone, you get one number wrong, what happens?
It'll be the wrong number. It won't go through.
That's right. Well, you got to have the right number to get into heaven, the right code to get into heaven.
Right.
999 and not 666.
You say you could talk to everybody, like all of creation. What you call it?
I can communicate with everybody and the whole creation. That's why tonight at 10:30, when you all move stars and moons and constellations, I'm going to move the entire universe for you all so everybody can see what I'm doing, because I'm going to connect with the minds in Africa and the Netherlands and Jamaica and Canada and the U.S. all the same time. Are you following me? It's not hard to figure out. There's only one universal mind, right? One universal mind.
Right.
And the more you raise up in vibrations, the more conscious you become, until finally you become one with all, and all is one with you, right? And when you become one with all, then you can communicate with all. Are you following me?
Sure.
You become in tune with that universal mind, right?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
many of us are still searching, just like when you used to drive your car down the freeway and you try to get a certain channel, like station like Randy or Tennessee, to hear the songs you want to hear, and it comes in, it's kind of staticky, and then you might get close to it, and then when you turn a curve, another station might bleed in. So sometimes it's kind of hard to dial into that frequency, isn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here. I'm a spiritual guide, and I'm here to help you dial into the right frequency. Are you following me?
I follow.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question, Amun.
I'll do my best.
So the 144,000 that you were explaining to the brother, is that the same as degrees of knowledge or no?
The 144,000, that is degrees of knowledge, really. It is. Because there's no such thing as people. In other words, when you were in Malakut, you were 180 degrees of positive knowledge as an angelic host, a seraphim. But when there was rebellion in heaven, then some of the angels developed 180 degrees of rebellious nature. When you were cast down here to earth, then you developed the dual nature of 180 degrees of positive and 180 degrees of knowledge, plus the free will to choose between the two. Are you following me? Now that you have the acquisition of 360 degrees of knowledge, the test is that you're going to be in situations where you have to decide between 180 degrees of negative or positive all the time. And if you keep choosing positive over negative, you're going to convert to a being of 720 degrees of positive knowledge if you're making the right decision. Are you following me? And now you may say, well, that's it, because that's where Michael or Melchizedek or the masters or elders are. But then that's going to divide against itself, the 720 against the 720, until you merge into 1440 degrees of positive knowledge. Are you following me? And then there'll be a whole new paradigm. Because tab-dack, you keep ascending, plane after plane, higher and higher.
You see that?
Speak louder.
You see 1 million people were sent to Earth, like, to fight evil, I guess?
There are millions of people called light workers that came in from many different star systems and many different dimensions. I'm one of those beings. I was sent here from the planet Risk, along with Panabab Yanun. We were sent here to fight against evil and to defend good, yes.
Well, my question is, where he at?
I'm right here for one. But haven't you ever been in situations before where you heard a gunshot and you swore you were hit, or you almost got in a car accident, it was so close, you thought that you actually got the accident, but it didn't happen, and you couldn't believe that you came out of it unscathed? Haven't that happened to you before? So close to death or being injured, and you came through it, and you don't see how it happened?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've all experienced that. For example, if you're driving down the freeway and you're doing 80 miles an hour and a big semi-truck is doing 80 miles an hour and it's coming for you, the truck driver lose control and run into you head on in the car. The Most High arranged your spirit so that it would leave your body at the point of impact, so you wouldn't have to experience that trauma. Then afterward, if your body was still, your vitals were showing, heart rate and breathing, they took you to the hospital and had surgery. And from there, your higher self could look down and see the doctors and nurses working on your body. If they could repair your body sufficiently, then you would slide back down that tube and pop back into your body, right? But if they didn't, and if they did, and your etheric cord was tangled, then you could only see your body, but you couldn't get in it. So you wasn't dead, but you were in a coma state. But those of you that came back down into your body and started walking around the earth again, from the point of that accident on, you never felt quite the same. You always had a strange feeling that you really did get, killed or messed up in that accident. Or, but the trees and the people and everything looks the same, because when you shoot up the etheric cord, up that vortex, what you call death, you met by an angelic being, and they ask you, have you learned what it is you went to earth to learn? And if you say no, they'll tell you then return until you finish what you were sent here to do. And you come back into that body to learn what it is and complete your school. Are you following me?
So if I fall off the building, I'm not gonna...
Y'all got to talk a lot louder.
So,
these people are messing with my phone. That's why a lot of you try to call me, and you're not getting me. Are you following me?
Sure.
I appreciate when you all. I appreciate when you all call me. I like that. But if you can't, you see, if you call and ring twice and then hang up, I don't have a chance to write your number down. Are you following me? Because it may pop up on the TV screen. But they got rid of my star feature of it. You know, like star 6. You know, star 69. I can't. You know, to see who called. They took that off because they're trying to block my message. So that's why I told you, when you really want to talk to me, call 215-971-4426. 215-971-4426. And give her your number and I'll call you back. All right, next question.
Yes, Amun. I have a story.
Okay, very good. Is that you, Jasmine?
No, this is Marion from Covington.
All right, I'm glad to hear your voice. Jasmine, are you here?
This is Robert's mother.
Very good.
Okay, back in like 1973, I think it was, I was in Frankfurt, Germany, right? And my airline number to get back to Newark, New Jersey, was that airline that was bombed in Newark. And something kept pressing me in Germany to change your flight, and I did. And if I had not have changed that flight, I would have been on that airline that was bombed in Newark, New Jersey. So I guess I was meant to be here?
You are always meant to be wherever you are. But let me tell you something, sister. The truth of the matter is, as you could have been on that flight as well. You follow me? And that might be the nagging feeling. In other words, if you drive to a stop sign and you lost and you don't know whether to turn left or right, you might say, I'm going to turn left, and then you ultimately decide to turn right. There's an aspect of you being that made the left turn, and a whole different reality played out for her than the one that turned right. Are you following me?
Uh-huh.
You are God, believe me. And you don't have to do this or that. Many times you're doing this and that.
Okay.
And that's what's nagging you about it, right?
Yeah.
That's not much different than the car accident with the truck I was telling you about. You just have a strange feeling about it that never leaves you.
Oh.
Moon.
Because you were actually on that flight. You follow?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But you are definitely still here. Because you had things to do, places to go, and people to see. Are you following me?
Okay.
All of that could have been so that you could be here tonight with us, Goddess. Do you hear me?
Yes.
And if we had just let that flight dictate your future, you wouldn't have made it here.
Yes. Now, prior to coming to Earth, are we able to tell what planet we came from and why we're here?
Yes. But the thing is, when people came to Earth, the Anunnaki performed surgery on certain people and removed their barytheric gland. That was a gland that was in the hippocampus area of your brain that acted in coordination with your tonsils and your appendix to raise up in vibration to give you random contact with the divine, right? You follow me?
Yes.
So that a lot of people are what they call forgetful beings. They don't remember what happened before. For example, we know that there's a history to Africa and we're part of it. But why don't you remember building the pyramids or many of the things that happened? You just don't remember, right?
Right.
That's because now we're enocytes, forgetful beings. But now there's a continent on the planet called Australia, where the indigenous people there were not part of the experiment of the Anunnaki, so they didn't remove their barytheric glands from them surgically. And they have memory of past time. And when the United States sends crafts or satellites with manned crafts over Australia, these aborigines communicate with them directly, like they're on the radio, mind to mind. You hear me?
Yes.
Because their barytheric gland is still intact. Well, now, what's happening with those of you that stay close to me is that the elders are going to replace your barytheric gland. Are you following me? In the lower submental of your chin. Under your chin, it's about the size of a walnut. It won't be surgically replaced in your brain because the hippocampus area has grown over, and there's not enough room for your barytheric gland there, right? But many of you still have your barytheric gland, some of you, and some have nerve endings or just merely the impression of where it was. And that way, you still have spiritual, like mother wit or deja vu or intuition and all these things, because your barytheric gland works in concert with your appendix and your tonsils to raise up your vibrations to give you access to divine. And many of you that still have your barytheric gland, like I have mine, you follow me? You still have access to spiritual things. That's why you say some people are more spiritual than others. I wish I was spiritual like her or him, right?
Yes.
But some beings still have their barytheric gland, or they just have impressions of it, or the nerve endings are still there. You follow?
Yes.
But the majority of people, they've been totally removed from them, and they're forgetful, forgetful beings.
Yes. Well, I'm just so glad that I met you, because you have opened up my eyes to a lot of things. Because even years ago, I had even went down to Dr. Malachi York's compound, and something led me there. I guess I was seeking for information, and over the years, I was learning, and then I ran into you, and you opened my eyes to a lot of things. A lot.
Well, whenever the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I want to tell you something else, sister. In reality, I'm not really teaching you things, but I'm helping you to remember. I'm unlocking memory of things that you previously knew, but have forgotten by time.
Okay.
Amun.
Yes.
She's one of my family. This is Asar that I brought, with to the family.
Well, you did a beautiful thing for me, us, and her.
Thank you.
We are gathering.
She's a beautiful being too. Her and her son both.
I already feel it. I know every man by their marks. Are you following me?
I follow.
But just because I communicate with reptilians and talk to them friendly, I still love them. I understand they're still big and small, all, and they're still one of us. We know, but they forgot. They don't know who they are or what they really are. They're acting outside their character. That's why they're nasty little characters. But we were all beautiful beings, just like that sister at one time. How do you think the devil got cast out of heaven unless he was an angel?
True.
Right.
Amun, did you know a story about them monks going around in different cities trying to say they're bringing peace? It was on the news.
No, I didn't know about it, but I'm glad it's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody trying to create peace is with me. That's where we going back to a place. I know a place, where there's peace and security reigning on all sides. And sister, I love your contribution to class tonight, and I've been inspired by you. Like you say, I inspire you, you inspire me, and give me courage to keep moving forward, because I know that I'm reaching some people. and my efforts are not in vain. A lot of people don't realize they want to be the Messiah so bad. All devils want to be on the top of everything they're involved with. It's their nature, the challenge and aggress. They always want to piss on the fence. They want to know. They want to be this and that. But everybody don't want to be Martin Luther King when it's time to get shot in the head on the balcony. When you're a leader, when you're a leader that's central to any charismatic group, you got a target on your back. Don't you understand? All the devils, black and white, hate you and want to destroy you. They don't even know why, except that reality is their enemy and truth is not their friend. It's 10:25. I need all you all to go outside and perform miracles tonight. And sister in Covington, please, would you be the first one to look up at the star and the moon and tell me what you see?
Yes, I will.
And about the brother Darrell, you be right after. I want you to perform a miracle tonight with us too.
I thought you forget about me.
No, I don't forget about you all.
You know I'm in the shelter, right? You want me to go outside too?
Yeah.
Yes, I do see a star. I do see a star.
All right. We're going to make that star together. Raise up in the name of Messiah, Amun-Rayay. Just tell us what you see. All right. Now we're going to make that star drop down. Go ahead.
Raise it up.
All right. Now we're going to make it drop down in the name of the Messiah. Now we're going to make it move. I love you. Now we're going to make it move to the left.
Wow, yeah.
Right. Now we're going to make it go in a circle clockwise in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're going to make that star come closer to you, sister.
Wow, yeah.
Now we're going to make it go back out.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I just want to make sure that everybody knows it's really me. I am the Messiah, and it's really you because you're here with me. It is your time again, sister. You made it home. Darrell, what do you see?
A whole bunch of stars and it's cold out there.
All right. You don't see the moon at all, huh?
No, I'm in Clearwater, Florida, man. You know, we can see everything real good down here.
Okay. What about Orion? I'm trying to get something you identify. You know Orion when you see it?
Nope. Never studied the Milky Way.
All right. Listen. All the stars in creation raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Right. Because I actually went out there and raising up.
Yeah, they're raising up. Now, all stars in creation, don't talk over me. All stars in creation, drop down.
Oh, they dropping fast.
Yes, they are, Darrell. Now, all the stars in creation move to the left in the name of the Messiah. Now move back right. Darrell, the reason I do that, you saw that, right?
Sure.
Darrell, you did see that, right? Darrell.
Hello?
Yeah, you saw what I did, right?
Nope.
You didn't see. I thought you said you saw it moving.
No, that was somebody else. I said I went out there and looked up there. When I looked at the stars, I'm trying to make sure I don't see no drone.
Okay, I understand all that. I'm just saying now you went back inside, right?
Yeah.
That's because there's none so blind as he who refuses to see. But let me tell you something, Darryl. All these people are not confused, and they didn't come here tonight just to lie to you. We are seeing it because.
Know.
Okay, you already know. How you know that they see it?
But see, it's different for me. Around my birthday, March 5th, everything changed with the constellations and everything.
Okay, I understand. Well, if you convinced it's different for you, then it will be different for you. Then you won't be able to see what everybody else can see, and that's unfortunate. But I'll love you, and I'll stay with you until you can see if you really want to see. Okay?
It all depends on the conversation we're having.
Okay, I understand all that, Darryl. I know you're very different and important, and you stand out for it. But let me tell you something. There is no big or small in the eye of all. You're not more important than anybody here. These people are very important, and we're all gods. You understand that?
Yep.
Yeah, and you'd be lucky to be one of us, but you're not better than us or over us in any way. Please understand that, son. Okay, well, you know, it seems like you're striving to be unique and different, you know. But I love you all. I really do. Is there anybody else in London or any place else that want to move something in the sky?
Yes, I see something, Amun.
What do you see in London, Cheryl?
I see a bright star.
All right. Let's move that star up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Tell me how did you know Kim was gonna give me the number and I was gonna call you? How did you know that? How did you believe that?
Wait a minute, stop talking. All right, Cheryl. Did you see it going? Do you see it going up?
Yeah.
All right, be quiet, brother. All right, now drop down in the name of Amun-Rayay. What you try to do is block truth, brother. Drop down in the name of Amun-Rayay.
Dropping down.
All right. Now go in the circle clockwise in the name of the Messiah.
Hey Kim, I love you, man. I didn't go disregard your request.
Hey, please stop talking over this, my brother.
Stop talking.
That's right. You trying to block out what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the universe moving, but you just not telling the truth to us. I've met beings like that. Okay. Now, all right, Cheryl, I thank you, and I love you so much. All of you all,
thank you.
I love you more than you'll ever know. I really do love all of you. Please write your testimonies of what you experienced tonight and email them to me at Orion9StarMover@gmail.com. Orion9StarMover@gmail.com. And every time you get a post from me, post that post up in every media outlet. Thousands of times in Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, all over the world, so that you can help us raise the 144,000 and thereby earn your throne and eternity. I love you all. Peace. Meet your eternity. Amun-Rayay, Asa, servant to the 144,000.